the US focuses on the LRHW system. In an increasingly tense international environment marked by rivalries and strategic challenges, the United States Army is preparing for a fundamental test of its hypersonic missile system, the Long-Range Hypersonic Weapon LRHW, scheduled for the month of December. The latter does not seem to be just a technical step, but aims to represent a decisive moment in the race for war innovation. The adoption of advanced technologies such as hypersonic weapons could in fact redefine the operational capabilities of the US armed forces. After a long and complex development process, punctuated by postponements and delays, the hypersonic flight capability, the result of the collaboration between the Army and the Navy, is finally ready to be delivered to the first operational unit. According to reports from General Frank Lozano, it is clear that the first LRHW ammunition will arrive in May at the Lewis McChord Joint Base in Washington State. The timeline, originally scheduled for 2021, had to undergo significant postponements due to problems encountered during the tests, delaying the arrival of the missiles, initially scheduled for the fall of 2023. Transition phases. From the analysis, we learn that the General would also have announced the Army's intention to transfer the LRHW program from the Office of Rapid Capabilities and Critical Technologies, RCCTO, to the Executive Office for Missiles and Space. However, this formal step will not happen until the first delivery is complete. Lockheed Martin, the leading partner in the development of the launch capability, is currently completing the final stages of production at its facility in Cortland, Alabama. At the same time, Dynetics, a subsidiary of Leidos, is responsible for the construction of the Common Hypersonic Flight Core, intended for both the Army and the Navy. The importance of hypersonic weapons for the US. Hypersonic weapons is capable of reaching speeds of more than Mach 5, about 6,173 kilometers per hour, have maneuverability characteristics that make them extremely difficult to detect and intercept. In a global landscape where the threats of these weapons from powers such as China and Russia are growing, the United States feels the need to strengthen its defensive capabilities in this direction precisely to address these strategic challenges. Open resources make it known that as early as May 2024, the Army conducted a successful missile launch test at the Pacific Missile Range facility in Hawaii. This goal has followed, then, the expectation of making this technology operational by 2025. In addition, it is learned that another successful launch was also carried out in December at the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. This, as is appropriate, would have done nothing but amplify confidence in the solidity of the program. The strategic role. Finally, for experts, although the delivery of the weapon took about 2 years longer than initially planned, the LRHW program is considered 5 years behind schedule, both in relation to standard development times and for missile systems that are around 10 years. Hypersonic weapons, according to analysis, will still play a strategic role in future conflicts, and current developments represent a key step in enhancing the United States' defensive capabilities. The creation of this missile system is not only therefore a candidate to strengthen American deterrence, but also aims to be able to contribute to ensuring operational superiority in an increasingly complex and challenging international security landscape. Denmark strengthens military preparedness with $34 million barrels in reserve. The latest news on Denmark. The Danish armed forces are investing in spare barrels for major military systems, including the Leopard 2 tanks, Atmos artillery, and the Cardam mortar, with a budget of $34 million. This purchase, financed through the country's Acceleration Fund, aims to improve Denmark's military preparedness and comes in response to insights gained from Ukraine's experience in the ongoing conflict with Russia, where frequent use of artillery has led to rapid barrel wear. The government is keen to maintain a solid operational capability, recognizing the need for strong reserves to ensure the effectiveness of the battle in the long term. Now, it remains to be seen whether this move will provide the foresight needed for future combat readiness. France plans to replace the US HIMARS with French-made rocket artillery by 2026. The latest news on France. We now know that the country is pushing ahead with its efforts to develop a domestically made rocket artillery system to replace its aging units, with the goal of a test by mid-2026. The French Ministry of the Armed Forces is working with Safran and MBDA, as well as Thales and Ariane Group, to create a tactical strike system with a range of 150 kilometers. The new system is expected to play a key role in the country's goal for defense autonomy. While the French military faces pressure to replace the current M270 systems by 2027, the development of the Thundert rocket could provide a sovereign alternative to the US-made HIMARS. However, in the event of delays, foreign options remain under consideration.